Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just go and do it.
Just do it.
Do something.
Hello, Believe Nation. Today we're going to talk about how you can just do it. As usual, as you guys watch the video, if somebody says something that really resonates with you, please leave it in the comments and put quotes around it so other people can be inspired as well.
Just do it. Just pick up a camera and start shooting something. Don't wait to be asked, because nobody's going to ask you. And don't wait for the perfect conditions, because they'll never be perfect. It's a little bit like having a child. If you wait until the right time to have a child, you'll die childless. And I think filmmaking is very much the same thing. You just have to take the plunge and just start shooting something. Even if it's bad, you can always hide it, but you will have learned something.
Okay, the question is, do you, the person asking the question, have what it takes to do what Dan did? You never know. But no one does know initially, up front. You have to try. You have to swing at the plate. You have to, take risk. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to make commitment. And just do it. I keep saying that. I mean, it's simplistic. It sounds like I haven't thought the question to it, but that's not the point at all. The point is, after 21 years of coaching and after almost 45 years of doing this myself and being a high-performance person in 6 decades, I realized you just got to do it.
I had done the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and my publisher said, hey, they're doing well, do another one. So I came up with Spider-Man, and I said to him, I got this great idea. I want to call him Spider-Man, and he's a teenager. So I gave him the idea, and he said, Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. He said, first of all, people hate spiders. You can't call a hero Spider-Man. Secondly, he said, he can't be a teenager. Teenagers are only sidekicks. And finally, he can't have personal problems. Don't you know what a superhero is? So he wouldn't let me do it. One day we had a book we were going to kill called Amazing Fantasy. When you're going to do the last issue, nobody cares what you put in it. Just to get it out of my system, I put Spider-Man in the book, and we sold it, and it was a bestseller. So my publisher called me in a couple of weeks later and said, Stan, you remember that character Spider-Man that you and I liked so much? Why don't you do a series of it? And that's how Spidey was born.
I believe desire and will to win is everything. I don't know why I'm like I am, but my butt's always burning. There's always something say, Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to go for it. Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to be somebody. You're supposed to make a difference with your life. What does the $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. You look at the outside and study those two individuals, everything seems to be the same. They both are the same sex, they both are the same age, they have the same training, the same positions, the same contract, the same fringe benefits. They both are successful, they work hard, they're good family people, make tough commitments. But what's the difference? What does the $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. He pays the price and a little bit more. He works hard and a little bit more. He's loyal to the company and a little bit more. He believes in a little bit more. He makes money and a little bit more. He saves money and a little bit more. If you want to win in these United States, you got to be tough and you can't quit. The last thing I'll talk to you about today in building this winning edge is, folks, if you want to win in business, you got to be a leader. Leadership is everything. You show me anything in these United States that win, I'll show you a leader at work. You show me a successful church, Boy Scout troop, club, football team, business, I'll show you something run by a leader. See, I thought at one time in my life you had to be smart to win. I used to have these smart people that dress so pretty and talk so pretty and use these big words. They just intimidated me. And I said, Art, you can't ever be that good. Why don't you just throw in the towel and go on back and coach football for a living? And I found two things out about smart people. I think it's almost impossible for a smart person to win in business in America today. Because I find smart people spend their whole lifetime figuring things out. They're always trying to figure out an easier way and a quicker way. And another thing I found out about smart people is they just don't get around to doing nothing. And see, somebody like Art Williams, everybody said, well, he can't do it. And somebody like that can't do it. But he does it. See, folks, I want you to know almost everybody in America almost does enough to win. They almost get there. They almost are over the hump. They almost have it going. They almost in everything they do, almost is a way of life to almost everybody in America. But the winners do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of. We need leaders in America who can do it. If you want to become somebody, do it. If you want to go in business for yourself, do it. If you want to become financially independent, do it. I hear too much talk in these United States. Everybody can talk a good game. We need people in America who can do it. I go all over this country with A.L. Williams, and I have people say, Art, you can count on me. Wonderful. Just do it. Art, I guarantee you this is my last stop. I'm going to win now. Super duper. Just do it. Art, if I could just have one good month and get the ball going, I know I could make it big. Super. Just do it. Art, if I could just pay off this debt, I could really go. Great. Just do it. Art, if I could just sell my house. Do it. But houses ain't selling. Do it anyway. Art, I'm not making any money. What can I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, I guarantee I'm going to win this contest. Super duper. Just do it. Art, I'm over the hump now. Watch my smoke. Great. Just do it. Art, I want to make it so bad I can taste it. What I do? You just do it. Art, I'm a vice president now. Can I quit doing it? No. Art, I don't know if I can keep on keeping on. I'm really hurting. What I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, all my life I wanted to be somebody important. Well, what do it then? Art, I'm going to save money so I don't have to go through this again. Great. Just do it. Art, I don't feel like I've had enough training. What I do? You just do it. Art, my manager don't give me no help. What I do? You just do it. Art, you don't understand. I was Mr. Everything at my former company. You don't mean I have to start off down at the bottom and do it, do you? Yep, you really got to do it. Art, what's the primary difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to finally have achieved something unique, and how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else, and how wonderful it is to finally be somebody they're proud of and make a difference with their life.
Yeah, if you get the passion to do it, and you do it, and it doesn't like work out. I worked got 3 years on a 16 millimeter film that ended up becoming nothing but guitar picks, and I was very disappointed when I realized it wasn't any good. But it was my film school. All right, and I actually got away really cheap. When it was all over, I knew how to make a movie. I didn't want to show anybody that, but I had the experience. I had a lot cheaper than I would have gone if I'd gone to film school.
So do you have any advice for someone who would like to start doing creative writing but has no idea where to start whatsoever?
Depends. Are you the kind of person who, do you read a lot?
I read a lot, yes, and I write snarky emails, but that's about it. I've been told they're very good.
I mean, when you say creative writing, do you want to write fiction? Do you want to write humorous essays? Do you want to? There's an awful
fiction, I would think.
You want to do stories?
Yes.
Okay. So my advice is start writing stories.
Just like do it.
Really, it's almost as simple as that. It's start writing. So pick a style, pick a theme. Look at the kind of, you are not expected straight out of the hat to be a brave and original voice producing fine and wonderful fiction. It's much more like, the first pancake on the griddle, which is going to be this weird, black, messy thing that you will either give to your dog or to a child. Trying to convince them, yeah, it's nice. It's you write, you finish things, you start the next thing, you write that, you finish it. Somewhere in there, you get reasonably good. And
give these to people, or do you just?
Yeah,
okay.
The point I always found that I would always learn more about what I'd done the moment I saw it in print, or the moment, these days, probably the moment you'd see things up on the web. But yeah, show them to people. But the most important thing when you're just starting out is write the next one. Okay. Assume that you have a million words inside you that are absolute rubbish, and you need to get them out before you get to the good ones. And if you get there early, that's great. That's really my biggest advice.
All right, thank you.
Read everything you can, read outside your comfort zone, and write a lot.
When you look at the accomplishments of accomplished people, and you say, boy, that must have been really hard. When you look at something that looks hard, that was probably easy. And conversely, when you look at something that looks easy, that was probably hard. And so you're never going to know which is which until you actually go and do it. So just go and do it, try, learn from it. You'll fail at some things. That's a learning experience that you need so that you can take that on to the next experience. And don't let people who you may respect and who you believe know what they're talking about, don't let them tell you it can't be done. Because often they will tell you it can't be done, and it's just because they don't have the courage to try it.
You've been in a band for 7 years. You could have been a big star as a solo artist, but that explains why you put Wings together, because you needed people to work with on a live stage.
Yeah, I like the idea of a band, because people said, well, you can get a big super group, get a load of stars and stuff. But for some mad reason, I wanted to kind of go back to square one and just do it as we'd done it in the Beatles. So people said, well, Linda can't play keyboards. And it was true, I said, well, I know, but, we couldn't play guitar. John couldn't play guitar when we started. He was playing banjo chords, and we knew Linda couldn't play. We knew we didn't know each other, but she learned. And but we had some funny experiences. I mean, looking back on it, I'm really glad we did it, because it was the way to do it. Like I say, I could have just gone into a super group and just rung up Eric, Jimmy Page, John Bonham, or whatever, and just the mates, and said, "Come on, guys, we're going to do it." But for some reason, I wanted to go back, and it was quite funny. We ended up, as you say, playing universities and graduated to town halls, and which was funny because I'd been in Shea Stadium quite recently, and it was funny, It was, you had to hold your nerve, but then you do in life. You've got to there's all sorts of occasions that throw you, and you've got to decide, okay, I'm going under or I'm going up. Yeah. And so we just decided to get out and do it, and it was funny. We were on Newcastle Town Hall once, and we were doing this song Wildlife. And Linda had the intro. It's just 3 little piano chords. Dun, 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 dun. And so I go, I do a song now called Wildlife. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nothing. I look round. She's going. Now the audience love this. They think this is part of the show. Hey, love it. I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. More nothing. So I turn around, the audience by this time, I think, this is great. They've worked this out. This is their comedy bit. So I go over to the piano. I go, and I can't remember the bloody chords. So I say, oh no! Suddenly it comes back to her. It's going, yes! Wildlife! And we're off.
It was a lot harder to get started when I was growing up and wanting to be a movie director, almost at 12 years old, because when I first picked up a camera, in order to get a...
Where were you living when you first...
I was in Scottsdale,
You were in Arizona?
I was looking for a way to fulfill the requirements to get a photography merit badge. I was in the Boy Scouts of America. And the manual said...
Did you want to be a filmmaker before that?
No, I didn't want to be a filmmaker at all. I just wanted to be an Eagle Scout. That was my only aspiration, was want to get the highest rank I could in scouting. And so on my way to being an Eagle Scout, I had to get a certain requisite amount of merit badges, and one of them I wanted to get was photography. And the requirement was to tell a story with still photographs. And my dad's camera broke. He did not have a still camera. Like the Brownie Kodak that he had wasn't working. But he did have an 8mm Kodak 8mm movie camera, and I went to the Scoutmaster and I said, can we change the rules just so I can tell a story on film, because we don't have a still camera? And the Scoutmaster said, go ahead and do it. So I got 3 minutes worth of film, which is, by the way, all of those cameras used to take, these little 3-minute rolls of film. And I made this Western on a weekend. And I showed
how did you edit? Did you camera cut?
In camera cut, a little shot. My friends and cowboy outfits robbing a stagecoach, which was sort of an exhibit out front of a place called Pinnacle Peak Patio, a restaurant which is still there outside of Scottsdale.
So how did you know to camera cut?
I just figured, you'd do a shot in this direction of the bad guys with their guns and masks on, and my sisters played the damsels in distress in the stagecoach, giving away their costume jewelry, well, my mother's jewelry. I didn't tell her we took my mom's jewelry to give away to 12-year-olds, pretending to be robbers. And I made this little movie and then showed it to the Boy Scout troop that weekend, and they all went crazy for it. They screamed and applauded, and I suddenly got bitten by that bug, and I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. It was became so clear to me. But it was hard then, because to make movies, you had to pay for film and pay for developing of the film. So I had to go to my dad to say, Dad, I'll earn some money, but I can't earn all the money because I go to school. I can't get a job to earn the money to pay for all this equipment. So my dad helped me. However, today it's easier. Today, everybody seems to have a camcorder. Everybody has some high-8 digital camera. And it's a lot easier to get your hands on.
You can buy that editing program for the computer.
You can buy a software program for the computer and go out and make a movie and tell a story and figure out who you are as a storyteller. And so in a sense, it's easier today for young people to at least prove to themselves this is what they want to do for the rest of their lives, or at least in the interim of the rest of their lives. And it's also, if you get bitten by that bug, you can make a lot of little movies, and somehow those films will get seen by people, hopefully, that will hire you to do a music video someday, or a TV commercial, or a television show, or someday a feature film.
I think the best advice I could give everyone is don't listen to advice. But if you are going to listen to advice, then making sure you actually do something is a good advice. If you just sit around planning something and not doing it, you're not actually going to get anywhere.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to know, which of the clips did you enjoy the most? What impact is it gonna have on your life or business? What change are you gonna make? How are you going to just do it now in your life or your business? Leave it down in the comments below. I'm gonna join in the discussion. Thank you again for watching. I believe in you. I hope that you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you soon.